أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وله الحمد في الآخرة وهو الحكيم الخبير. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله البشير النذير والسراج المنير صلى الله عليه وعلى أصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. عباد الله، يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في محكم تنزيله: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال أيضا: يا أيها الناس اتقوا الله الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وقال أيضا: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. عباد الله، اتقوا الله واعلموا أن خير كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة. أجارنا الله. أيها المسلمون، جبل البشر جميعا على حب القصص والتاريخ، وذلك لأنهم يتعلمون منها الدروس والعبر، فتجدهم يستمعون القصص للصالحين وعلمهم وأعمال البر والخير التي عملوها والتي نفعت الناس وعاقبتهم الحسنى في الدنيا وما ينتظرهم عند الله تعالى من نعيم في الآخرة. ويستمعون قصص الظالمين الذين أفسدوا في الأرض وعاقبة الشر التي أصابهم بها في الدنيا وما ينتظرهم من عذاب أليم في الآخرة. أيها المسلمون، والقصص التي يسمعها الناس قسمان: قسم حكاه السابقون من البشر، وهذا نوع على ما فيه من العبر والدروس، إلا أنه يبقى فيه الشك، لأن من قص علينا القصة إما أن يكون كارها لمن حكى عنه ويبالغ في الانتقاص منه ووصفه بأوصاف قبيحة، ربما يجعله شيطانا وهو ليس كذلك. وإما أن يكون محبا لمن يقص عنه ويبالغ في مدحه بأوصاف حسنة، ربما لا تكون فيه حتى يجعله من الملائكة وهو ليس كذلك، ويبقى الشك في كل ما يحكيه الناس من قصص وفي كلا الأمرين، في الحب والكره، ولا يعلم ما كان في النفوس وما غاب عن عينه. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and most merciful, all praises are due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. He bear witness that there is no deity to be worshipped except Allah alone. He has no partner in His kingdom. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is His servant, His beloved one. He sent him to bring or to evacuate us from darkness to lightness. He advised the nation remove darkness from it and stroke on the path of the deed. May peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, his household, his companions, and all those of us who follow his guidance until the day of judgment. Amen. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, human beings by nature, we like hearing stories or history, because we know that through that we learn a lot of lessons from them. We learn a lot of history and stories, a lot from history and story, so that we use those lessons to shape our own lifestyle. But most of the time, the stories or the history that we listen are of twofold. Either it is about a good character or bad character. I mean, I'm talking in terms of literature. Character means the person around whom the story is being narrated. So, the main character in the story, if the person narrating the story likes that person, it means the story will be influenced by the person. Even if the character of the story is somebody who is a wrongdoer or an evildoer, and the narrator of the story likes him, he will narrate the story as if the person is somebody to be admired, or the person is somebody who is a hero. And so whatever bad deed the person did in that story, the narrator will make you polish it to be looked as if it's a good deed. But on the contrary, if the story narrated is about a person who is a good deed or a righteous person, and the narrator is somebody who does not like him, he will narrate the story as if the person is an evil person, so that he will be looked an atrocious person in the eye of the listeners or those who read that story. So, this means that most of the stories that we hear or read about, we still have some doubt in them because of this kind of character, because they are being narrated by human beings, and human can be biased. So therefore, if we need an authentic story which has no bias in it, which is accurate, it means we have to look for the stories narrated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So one of the stories that we have to seek for from the Quran is what we are about to talk about today. And that story is about the people of the garden. The people of the garden. What does the people of the garden do? Or did they do in the Quran for them, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to narrate a whole story about them? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ أَحْسَنَ الْقَصَصِ مِمَّا أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ. He is saying that we are going to narrate a story that is accurate, which is most authentic to you from what we have revealed to you in this Quran. So it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever story He narrates to us in the Quran is authentic and most accurate. And why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala narrate the stories to us? He wants us to take great deal of lessons from them. So نتحدث اليوم عن قصص من قصص القرآن جعلها الله تعالى إبرة للناس في كل زمان ومكان. So those stories that we listen or that we hear from the Quran, they are timeless. They have no time bound. Always they remain relevant to humankind. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging us to be listening to the Quran always, because the Quran has a lot of good stories that we would imbibe a lot of lessons from them. So this story, as I said, is about the people of the garden, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is narrating this story in Surah Al-Qalam, the Surah of Pen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started narrating the story from the ayah Inna balawnahum kama balawna ashab al-jannah idh aqsamu la yasrimunnaha musbihin. To the ayah Asa rabbuna ayubdilana khayran minha inna ila rabbina raqibun. So this story, when Ibn Abbas was asked, he said that the story is about a righteous person who lived in a village in Yemen. The man was a farmer who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala endowed him with wealth and put barakah in his wealth too. So he had a garden full of an orchard of trees. So in every year, when it is time for harvest, this man will make sure that he will divide his wealth into three. You make sure that 1/3 of it would be shared among the needy and the poor people in his community. The second part two, he will make sure that he will use it to feed himself and his family. And the third part, he will sell it out and use the money to buy whatever he needs for himself and his family. And this man had 5 children. So they help him in his farming activities every year. So whatever this man was doing, not knowing his children was not agree with him. They did not like him, or they did not like what their father used to do. So whenever it is time for harvest, the father planned to announce to the community. The children, most of them would object. That why should our father do that? This year, please do not share any part of the wealth to the masakin, to the poor and the needy ones. We have rights over our own property, so let us share it among ourselves. If you do that, our status will be raised, and we will be among the richest people in the society. So why do you always deny us this opportunity? Instead, you share a chunk of it to the needy and the poor. So the man, whatever that his children tell him or told him, he did not pay heed to them. He always did what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expected of him to do. So, in 1 year, as the harvest season was approaching, the man fell sick, and some few days before the harvest time, the man passed away. So his children gathered and they went to the farm and to inspect the farm. To inspect how much they have for the year. And they realized that year the produce was even more plentier than the previous year. Why? Because the father, Allah put barakah in his work because of what he used to do, and they did not know. And Allah blessed him with iman that he did not bless the same iman to his children, and he did not bless his children with the same iman. So the children agree. They have decided that this year, once our father is not around, we are not going to give a portion, even not a single food, to the needy and the poor in the community. And the needy and the poor in the community were waiting impatiently for the season of harvest. They know that at least, even though the children, the father has passed away, his children will follow his footsteps, and they will be called upon to go and take their share on the eve of the harvest. So the children had that plot. The day before the harvest, they came together and took a decision that there's no way they are going to share this the orchard among the poor and the needy. So they decided that the next morning, let us wake up early in the morning and go to the farm, so that no one will hear or no one will be aware of our that no one will be aware that we are leaving for the farm. So they did exactly that. They slept in the night, and they resolved that they told them, one of them, that anyone who will wake up among them earlier should come and wake the rest of us early, so that they will walk through the darkness into their farm and harvest it before even the poor and the needy will come to the farm and take their share. So that is what they have decided. In the night, they all fell asleep. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent fire to burn the entire farm into ashes. The trees and the fruit, all of them were burnt aground. So the next morning they woke up, whispering to their ears, wake up, let's go to the farm and harvest our wealth. If only we mean to do whatever we have decided to do. So they woke up in the darkness and went to the farm, and to their surprise, they realized that the whole place was dark. Even though it was darkness, but the entire field turned dark. They realized, no, they were even arguing among themselves. Have we lost our way or what? Or have we found ourselves in somebody's farm? They kept on arguing among themselves. Meanwhile, when they were taking the decision, one of them told them that this is not a good idea. They retorted him. He said that you get away. We are the majority. So whatever decision we take, the majority must carry what? The weight. You only took exception. So the four of us have decided that we are going to harvest the orchard without giving even a single fruit to the needy and the poor. So the next morning when they got there, they were arguing among themselves, no, I think we have lost our way. And some of them said that, then let us wait till the sun rises. When the sun rises, the whole place will be what? Light, and we will realize where exactly we find ourselves. When the day breaks, they realized that they were indeed in their farmland. When they realized that, no, how can this thing happen to us? And then the one who disagreed told them that, did I not tell you that you should not transgress against Allah, to go against the will of Allah? You people have decided to deny the haq of the poor and the needy. And Allah, knowing that, not knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the right or control over your wealth. Because of your bad intention, that is why Allah has also put or banned our farm this way. So this is a punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of our ill intention. And they all regretted their action and they were blaming themselves. You brought this idea. One will also say to his brother, you brought this idea. And they were blaming themselves one another. And then they resolved that, no, the blame game will never help us. Now we have realized that we have wronged our Lord. So therefore, what the best thing we must do is to repent. So they have repented and they resolved that from now onwards, whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with this another garden which is even plentier than this, we will do as our father used to do. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us the story in the Quran in this way, in a nice way, in a compressed way. إِنَّا بَلَوْنَاهُمْ كَمَا بَلَوْنَا أَصْحَابَ الْجَنَّةِ إِذْ أَقْسَمُوا لَيَصْرِمُنَّهَا مُصْبِحِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that verily we have tried them as we tried the people of Garden. When they swore to not to give a portion of their farm produce to the needy and the poor. Because Allah was talking about some people that He tried them, just like He tried the people of the garden. But the people of the garden swore that for this year there is no way we are going to give a portion to the needy and the poor. When they took that decision, they did not even consider the will of Allah. Just like we say, by God willing, they did not say so. They have resolved that the next morning we are going to our farm and harvest it and share it among ourselves. Whichever share that any of us get, you can use it or you can do whatever you like with it. So that we sell it and become rich among the society, so that our status will go raised and will be recognized well in the society. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, فَطَافَ عَلَيْهِمْ طَائِفٌ مِّن رَبِّكَ وَهُمْ نَائِمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a fire into the farm. And then while they were sleeping, He sent a fire into the farm and burned the fruit, the trees, everything burned down into ashes. فَأَصْبَحَتْ كَالصَّرِيمِ. And the whole place turned like what? A dark pitch in the darkness of the night. فَتَنَادَوْا مُصْبِحِينَ. They allowed this event occur when they were asleep. So the next morning they woke up and they were whispering into the ears of one another. The time is due for us to leave for the farm and harvest it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that Anikdu ala harfikum in kuntum sarimin. If only we have resolved, if only we have determined to do whatever we have decided the last night, please let us be on the way to go and harvest our wealth. So فَانْطَلَقُوا وَهُمْ يَتَخَافَتُونَ, and they were walking to the night and the darkness, lurking, so that nobody would hear their footsteps. فَانْطَلَقُوا وَهُمْ يَتَخَافَتُونَ. They went slowly without anybody being aware that they were leaving for their farm. And if Allah yadkhuluna al-yawma alaykum musbidin. So they decided that we have to set off as early as possible so that we will get there in the morning and harvest the produce before the whole community come to the farm with the intention of taking their share. وَغَدَوْا عَلَى حَرْثٍ قَادِرِينَ. وَغَدَوْا عَلَى حَرْثٍ قَادِرِينَ. And they went in the morning with strong intention that whatever decision we have taken, that is what we are going to implement. فَلَمَّا رَأَوْهَا قَالُوا إِنَّا ضَالُونَ. So when they saw their farm in that state, burnt aground, they realized that they lost their way. They were even thinking, maybe have we lost our way or what? بَلْ نَحْنُ مَحْرُومُونَ. But rather, they later realized they did not lose their way, but rather they were in the same place. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala denied them their share of the farm, as they denied the poor and the needy of the community. قالوا سبحان ربنا إنا كنا ظالمين. And they said, glory be to Allah. Indeed, we have been among the transgressors. And he said, glory be to Allah, we have been among the transgressors. It means this saying alone tells us that they have regretted their action. Even they have not implemented it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them a counter action, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala know their intention. Once they knew that, Allah knew that that is what they were going to do. If He allowed them to do it, the poor and the needy people will live in pain in the society. قالوا يا ويلنا إنا كنا طاغين. They said, oh, our Lord, we have indeed become the transgressors. عسى ربنا أن يبدلنا خيرا منها إنا إلى ربنا راغبون. And they decided to change their intention, that from now onwards or going forward, whatever Allah will bestow upon us, we will make sure that we will do exactly as our father used to do. And I know hopefully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us a farm which is even better than the one that we have just lost. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله كما أمر، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وبعد. So, this story, what we can imbibe from this story is that we should know that whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us, whatever wealth, whether it's a farm, whether it's a money, fiscal cash, or any form of property, we should know that it is Allah who has blessed us with it, and it belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If it belongs to Allah, what must we do? Having known that we must use it in a way that will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His messenger said that لَمْ يُبْعَثُ لِجَمْعِ الْمَالِ بَلْ بُعِثْنَا لِلْفَقِيرِ. So we did not send the money for you to amass them as your personal property, but rather we gave you the money for you to share it among the poor and the needy people. So when you share your wealth with the poor and the needy people, there is no way you are going to lose it. Allah will rather put barakah in the wealth and multiply it for you. So as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala multiplies it, make sure you also multiply your charity giving. For instance, if you have 100,000 this year and you give out about 20,000 or 30,000 this year, next year Allah bless you with 200,000. Make sure you give out 60,000 in charity. Don't give out the same 30,000 as you used to give 30,000 out of 100,000. If it is 200,000, make sure you give out 60,000. This is an example. That's not the quantum of zakat that we have to be giving out. I'm just using it as an example. So it means that if your wealth is being multiplied, make sure you also multiply your charity giving, your sadaqah. So, last one, our second lesson that we have to also take from this is that the zakat that we give out, we should know that it is not our own will that we are giving it out based on our own will. You should realize that it is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to do. If you do not do it, you owe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is why even a rich man, when he dies without giving out zakat, before the wealth is shared among the property, is shared among the successors, the zakat will have to be taken out of it. If he has not gone to Hajj, the Hajj will have to go taken out of it. The Hajj money will have to be taken out of it for somebody to embark in the family to embark on Hajj on his behalf. So it means that if you do not give zakat, it means you owe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are indebted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So giving charity protects our wealth. So if you give out charity, Allah will make sure your wealth sustainable. The wealth will never diminish. It will maintain. Allah will make sure that you keep on enjoying this wealth throughout your life, and Allah will even multiply it for you. So it means Allah protects our wealth based on the sadaqah that we give out of it. So thirdly, giving in charity only increases the wealth. It does not decrease it. Giving out in charity increases the wealth. It does not decrease it. Prophet Muhammad in this regard said that ma naqasa sadaqa min mal, but yazid, that the sadaqah that we give out from our wealth does not decrease it, but rather it increases it. So if you want your wealth to be expanded or extended or increased, make sure you always give sadaqah. And the sadaqah, Allah will use it to solve so many problems for you. He will use it to prevent you from any form of calamity that will befall on you. And He will use the same sadaqah to protect your wealth from you. Your wealth will never go waste. So if you want to enjoy all these blessings, let us multiply in giving out sadaqah. So, the fourth lesson we have to also take from this story is that anytime we transgress or we make a mistake or decision, any mistakable decision that we take, and later we realize that this decision is against the will of Allah, let us retract, let us repel, reorganize ourselves in regret, and resolve not to commit the same mistake and repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Doing so, Allah will bless you and compensate you with anything that is better than what you have already lost. So that is why they said in the Quran, Asa Rabbuna an yubdilana khayran minha inna ila rabbina ragibun, that maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us with a better farm than what we have just lost. So when Allah does so for us, we will make sure that we do whatever He expected of us to do as His good servant. So may Allah increase us in Iman. And let us do whatever will please Him in all our daily activities. One of our brothers lost his mother. May Allah give her Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah forgive her all her sins. May Allah grant us to good ending. When it is our time to leave this world, may Allah make it so easy for us. اللهم اغفر لها وارحمها وعافها واعف عنها واكرم نزلها وواسع مدخلها واغسلها بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقها من الخطايا كما نقيت الثوب الابيض من الدنس. اللهم ان كانت مسيئة فتجاوز عن سيئاتها، وان كانت محسنة وزد في إحسانها. اللهم من أحييت منا فأحي على الإسلام، ومن توفيت منا فتوفى على الإيمان برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين، وانصر عبادك المجاهدين في كل مكان، وانصر عبادك الموحدين في كل مكان. اللهم ارحم المسلمين الأحياء منهم والأموات، إنك سميع قريب مجيب دعوات ورافع درجات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وسلم تسليما. أكمل الصلاة.